Or maybe we should come on the screen. This is Night Views, the official sports podcast of the Still Nation Sports. This is the grand relaunch. We're officially on the new YouTube channel, the Night Views podcast channel, Night Views Pod on YouTube. So welcome anyone that finds it on the YouTube feed. Also, we are on the original Still Nation Sports channel as well too, but we are just temporarily doing that. We want y'all to come over to the new channel for all the activity, and we're also on Carlos' channel, Real Talk Productions, on YouTube and on X Twitter as well for him. So I am still Abdul, as we said, joined by C-Los here anytime we're doing the sports, man. How's it going for you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's the first Sunday, bro. The first Sunday we are live. Let's go. Clap it up for that, man.
It is officially, yes. It is the Sunday, the new Sunday edition. Around this time on Sundays is football season.
Yes, sir.
So it's getting real. Definitely getting real. And actually, too, see, did I add this to my... Okay, I have this on my main X Twitter feed.
Okay.
Because anytime you make changes on the, I have my Still Nation account.
Right.
Anytime you make changes to the picture or something, it's like, oh, you're not paying for premium.
That's what happened to me the second week. I had changed my photo. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's like I gotta pay for this stuff. What's going on? So I was like, okay. So I'll upload this to the Still Nation, the Twitter account, X Twitter account as well too. But like you said, Carlos, this is the debut of the Sunday edition. When it's football season, that's when y'all catch us over here. I will still be doing Tuesday wrap-up shows. Not this week, just so to make the schedule clear. This week, Labor Day week, we won't have a Tuesday show. But the NFL season starting later this week, so next Tuesday. So basically how it'll work is the Sunday edition, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're recapping whatever's going on, especially college football, is just getting started. Looking ahead of NFL. And then Tuesday is our ultimate NFL wrap-up for the week, or after the Monday, game. So, and then looking ahead. So y'all catch on to the format, as it goes, man. But we cover all sports, again, from a fan's perspective, independent voices. So that's going to be real cool. Now, it's a custom with me and Carlos. We always try to give honor to the ladies first, right? We try to start
Yes, sir. Ladies
first.
We like our ladies over here.
Especially when they make history. Angel Reese, most rebounds in a single season in WNBA history. Congratulations to Angel Reese and her fans. I know the team's kind of having a rocky time right now, but they had 2 first-round picks for a reason. So she's trying to kind of get things back going. But you can't deny, Carlos. I know people. Again, we're objective and rational on our platforms. So we're not into this whole Caitlyn versus Angel thing, and Right. I mean, it's cool for the sport of it, but people take this a little bit too seriously on social media. I want to appreciate what Angel's doing, herself, and setting the record is one thing in the WNBA. It's been around for nearly 30 years now, the WNBA.
Yeah.
And so she has this single season record, and she's a rookie, Carlos. How impressive is that, to you personally? I know you're a big fan of
it. Man. Yeah, all hail the Barbie, but definitely like a lot of people are this whole comparison between, we talked about it, Caitlyn and Angel Reese. It's one that's like, it's going to be there for the rest of their careers. It's something that we have to, get used to. I get that. But at that same notion, it's like one in their own way is not better than the other. They do things so differently while they play the sport that like, what they bring to the game elevates it so much. So it's just nice to see, that she's getting some recognition, man. She's out here, she's busting her ass, and she's getting it, man. It's nice to see, man. It really is.
Yeah, shout out to Angel Reese. And I know, like I said, her team, they may slip out of the playoff conversation. We'll kind of see, going on in the future. But what do you take? How do you see there's a criticism about Angel Reese out there, and I guess there's probably a couple of them, but the main one I'm seeing with this rebound record is she's only grabbing her misses. Like she'll go up, miss a layup, and I guess what do you say to that, Carlos?
So, as a basketball player myself, when you are, in my case, when you're that guy on the team and they look to you to score and you finally get so Angel Reese, the type of player she is, the reason why her and Carter, when Carter's on the floor with her, the reason why they mesh so well is because Carter gives her the ball and can give her, distribute the ball to her. To where it's like when she's not, she's fighting for these rebounds so then they can actually score. So it's like if I'm coaching that team, I want Angel Reese throwing up all these balls, getting the rebound to then score because like we can't trust the others. And that is essentially what separates what the Fever is doing, what Chicago Sky is doing right now, where the others around Caitlin Clark, they're actually showing up. Like Hall played a humongous game last game between the Sky, and just other players around Caitlin that they're actually making their shots. Whereas Angel Reese, it got to a point where, and you guys can go check out my reactions. A quick plug on that. But you can see the whole team, the whole Sky team, like on defense. Cardosa at times playing Olay defense. You got Angel Reese looking lost because she's trying to back up the person in front of her that then leaves her person wide open. So then they look like they're chickens with their heads cut off on the basketball court. So it's like
the construction of the team. I think just to be quite honest, like if Angel Reese wasn't on the Chicago Sky, I wouldn't be watching the Chicago Sky.
100%.
Right? And so, now we'll get into the Caitlin Clark thing in a minute because you're seeing some of Caitlin Clark's teammates stepping up. And that's what Angel Reese needs. And now Chennedy Carter was probably the best other player. I mean, Cardosa, that's a big girl down there. Like she's definitely she's doing her thing, and she was coming off an injury to start the season. She didn't even start the season. She came in like a week or two. So Cardosa's one thing. They're like the Twin Towers out there, and then Chennedy Carter's been out, I think, for like a week now or something. Or
well, no, she was back today. They played today.
Oh, she was back today.
Yeah, okay. She was back today. But in that same notion, you could kind of also see like Cardosa. She's great. But she's still, you could tell there's certain plays where she's learning her spots. When she's running down to the offensive side of the court, she's too deep in the paint to where they can't even feed her the ball sometimes. So then she has to reset, and then they're taking a lot of time of holding that ball, trying to move things around, and it's just like it becomes that one-on-one. That's why against the Fever, when they played against Caitlin Clark, you saw a lot of them trying to, okay, I'm going to attack, I'm going to try to score, and then they went away from what they're known for, which is playing down low to then shooting threes. They were making their shots, but if you live by the three, just like I always say about Boston, you're going to die by the three. So,
yeah. And so, I mean, it's about the others, like I said, Chennedy Carter, she's just coming back. So it'll probably take her a game or two, on her feet. They traded away Mabry, if people were following the team. I thought she was going to be the scorer on the team, but she went to a better situation with the Connecticut Sun. So I guess it's good for her. Not good for Chicago. But if they do end up sliding out of the playoffs, me as a lifelong Bears fan, I always have the silver lining. Like, let's say if your team, misses the playoffs, there's next year's draft. And after next year, college women's, there's going to be a really good chance they have a shot at the guard from the UConn Huskies, Paige Buchers.
Wait a minute, Sil. I didn't even think about that.
You get her on Chicago, and it's like, okay,
man,
because you got to wait a couple more years for Juju. Juju's a new GOAT. Again, if y'all don't watch women's basketball out there, we'll get y'all up to speed, but it's just a new GOAT coming in about 2 more years. So just hang tight now. I guess people call the current rivalry, or I can't call her a GOAT, yeah, but she's really good. Caitlin Clark, and she had that matchup with Angel Reese this past week. And we'll get into what Caitlin Clark's been doing. She got a game today versus the illest player in the WNBA. We'll talk about her in a minute as well. But this, people call this a rivalry, Carlos. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and I look at the sport of it.
Yeah,
that's cool. We're not gonna get into the whole online rivalries and like
right.
Fans fighting fans, but it can't be stated enough the popularity, attention, engagement that both of these women brought to the WNBA. And so anytime they're going to play each other for the rest of their careers, it's going to be the highest, viewership, of that month, of that moment. What do you say with this, Carlos? Just a rivalry of it. The sports rivalry of it. It's pretty good for the sport.
It's definitely something. It's nice to see. We haven't seen something like this in a very long time, whether it is men's or women's. And this just brings a lot to the WNBA, and it got us watching. I mean, we left watching them in college, and we came to WNBA to watch. And now we can't stop talking about the WNBA. Like most of my reactions have been to WNBA, and I'm just like I'm just loving the competitiveness, going back and forth. And a really cool thing that I'm kind of surprised that not even ESPN has really talked a lot about this, but Shaq was there versus this game. And one of the main things he was like implementing when they were interviewing him was, I can't wait for the day for the WNBA to be able to play their WNBA players just like the NBA plays their male players, with them big contracts and stuff like that. And that's something that's like, because of Caitlin and because of Reese, like that's something that can possibly happen in the future,
No, for sure. No, they money coming, and that's what we was trying to say at the beginning of the season. Yeah. Me and a few sensible people on TV, they was like, don't stop the Caitlin Clark wave, like, air every one of her games because she has people watching the game, and so the veterans the veteran WNBA players don't be all disgruntled like, oh, they wasn't coming to watch us last year. Yeah. Exactly. They weren't, right?
Now they are. So it's
you know what I'm saying? I remember when the WNBA first started, and you had the historic run of the Houston Comets, Cooper, Cynthia Cooper. She was at the game today, which is interesting. At the Indiana game and Dallas game today, so it's kind of cool seeing Cynthia Cooper because she was like the Michael Jordan of those teams when the WNBA first started, right? And so I remember when the WNBA first started, it was like a new hot thing, and then I faded off from watching it. Now, I didn't get back into it until really last year with the Vegas Aces with Asia Wilson and everyone on that team. So it needed this boost, is the point, because most people, like we were saying, Carlos, was watching the women's college probably more than anything for the last 2 years.
And what's crazy about that is that, like, it got to a point to where, like, March Madness was my thing, man. I used to love it, bets and all that stuff. I spent the last 2 years, I've been more engaged in the women's college ball more than I have been. Like, I literally turned off the NCAA for men's sometimes. It's like it's either a blowout or it's just not even interesting to watch.
I ain't watched them dudes. I really ain't watched them dudes. This past March Madness, I checked out Purdue a couple of times. Big Zach Edey. And then once I saw him getting locked up, like in the Final Four or something, I was like, okay, I'm done watching that. That's about it. That's about it. But they bring in the hype, right? So, like I said, the veteran WNBA players, veteran WNBA fans, like, don't take it personal. Just, and y'all all gonna get money off of this. Like, I'm getting views on my sports Twitter account because of these women, right? So everyone, just kind of kind of jump on the train right there. Now with that being said, they did play that game. They actually played the game, and first off, Angel Reese got another double.
Yeah,
I think she has over 20, I believe, for the season. She has the record of 15 straight double-doubles in any given time of the season. That's a WNBA record. So that's, again, and they're two different styles. So that's the thing, too. It's like, I get it, the rivalry thing, but it's like, it's hard to really call like, head to head, because it's two different styles of play with them two.
right.
But with that being said, Caitlin Clark snapped that game. 31 points, I believe, like 6 threes, 12 assists, highlights.
And she was playing against the narrative, man. How they were saying, oh, she's not a passer, she's not a distributor, she's not, all this, and she was getting mad at her teammates for missing some of these wide open passes she was passing to them.
This one will say now again. We preface all this. Y'all know we love the women's game, okay?
Yeah.
But they also got to realize too, we grew up watching the NBA, and there's just some physical differences. I be getting pissed off every time I see them miss one of her dimes, or
and they be like so nasty, bro, like a no look down the middle, and you just like, give me one of them. I'll dunk the ball. Give it to me, man.
I was like, I get it, and I'm cheering for them. But I'm like, oh, she'd be having 20 assists a game if they would catch half of these passes, bro. I just swear. But
and I think a lot of it too. I think a lot of it too is that it's not so much that they're missing it, is that they're not expecting it, because
right.
I think they're still learning how to play with Caitlin. But give it about a year. Oh man, like they're gonna be with their eyes closed catching everything.
Well, that's the thing with Caitlin and her teammates. That's why they started off so slow to start the season. The first 10 games, I think they only had like one win. So it's like now they're 500, which I think is amazing. I think it was 16-16. That's amazing. So that's showing the team is turning around. But no one else has played like Caitlin Clark before. Okay, so no one else has played like Caitlin before. So, like you said, the teammates is like, oh, I didn't know you was gonna pass it,
Yeah.
And hopefully in practice they get used to her, more with that. We got Tuck Frump in the chat saying Clark's not asked to rebound, catch lives, make moves in posts. Reese is not asked to assist her teammates, make threes, be primary ball handler. Two completely different players. Exactly, Carlos. That's kind of what we were saying, right?
Yep.
A few moments ago. Yeah. So we agree with those sentiments. We're fans of both of them. Like I said, I'm not caught up in all these comparisons. And that's kind of what I was saying too. I was like, two different players.
Yeah. Like whenever they're on the screen, I'm watching them. I don't care what it is. Like they could be playing the worst team in the league. I'm watching them because I just want to see what they're gonna do next. It's exciting. And especially when they're playing against each other. Like it's the best comparison. And shout out to Izzy in our sports chat. It's like and I think you said it too. So the whole Magic and Bird, comparison. That's what we're getting here.
Yeah, you see in the beginning, and I mean, it's funny how it's kind of parallels that so much because, but it's like the roles are kind of different because like Caitlin Clark's the flashy one, like Magic, but she's more like a Steph Curry, as far as how she plays.
Yeah, man.
And Angel Reese is like straight up, like she's already like the Dennis Rodman of WNBA history. Like she already is, what I'm saying? The greatest rebounder ever. So
I kind of want to talk about that. The way the way you just mentioned how Caitlin Clark is like a Curry. It's honestly mind-boggling to me how a player like Curry and Caitlin Clark, they can move at whatever speed they want. Like they could go super slow, crossing the ball over, and then going for the shot. They still look like they're going 100 miles an hour on the court. It's mind-boggling to me. It's so crazy. They got my attention.
Yeah, they definitely got my attention, man. Especially in these big games. And so, I think this is the last time they're going to face this season. I don't think, but they're definitely not going to be in the playoffs.
I think they got 2 more games or 3 more games before the playoffs. To their last
something like that. It's like another week or so. Yeah, and But even if both teams sneak in the playoffs, they're going to be bottom seeds. And
Yeah.
if you watch the WNBA, the really good teams are really, really good. Like they're stacked. It's like Hall of Fame. Man, I just started watching more of the New York Liberty, bro. Like,
oh man,
I'm like, okay, this may be the best thing. I know Vegas won the last couple of years, but I'm like, yo, you already got Breanna Stewart, who's just like Asia Wilson. Breanna Stewart is, but now Breanna Stewart shooting more threes. So I think she may actually be the best player in the world right now, Breanna Stewart. But then Sasha, I forget her last name, Ionuski or something like that. She's the one that shot against Steph Curry last year's All-Star game. He beat her only by like 2. Yeah.
Isn't that Sabrina or something like that? Or is that another player?
Whatever her name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sabrina Ionuski. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just started watching her.
Yeah. She's a baller. Yeah, she's a baller.
Can ball, bro.
Well, we saw her in the Olympics.
Yeah. My point is, though, I haven't been watching the team. And I'm saying right now, they're my favorite to win it all. I think they're the best team in the league. But like Tuck Frump was saying, they got our attention, bro. For real. So
100%.
So that was interesting as far as that matchup. And hey, since they're not going to face again this year, they brought so much attention. And it was really cool seeing them together in the All-Star game. Now we can kind of probably get used to that every year.
Yeah.
If they end up on the same, I don't know how they're going to do the All-Star game next year because it's not an Olympic team next year. But that was pretty cool. That was like historic actually seeing, Caitlin Clark setting up Angel Reese, for a shot. So that was kind of cool. Just saying.
I have a prediction. For the future of this duel right here. Mm-hmm. So when they become free agents, it'll be in that same year, right? Because since they were drafted in together.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long their contracts are because it's like, they get next to nothing comparably,
Right.
But yeah.
So I can see Angel Reese leaving Chicago and going to go play with Caitlin Clark. I'm gonna just throw that out there in the ether. Yeah, just let it simmer a little bit.
That's interesting. We'll let it kind of sit there. But definitely it's been a blast watching them, on the same court and playoffs. It looks like Caitlin Clark's gonna get to the playoffs. That's going to be again record-breaking, viewership. Now, this game was a couple of days ago. They also played the Dallas Wings today. Now, you talking about, like I said, a big fan of Caitlin Clark, but if y'all saw this year's All-Star game, WNBA, y'all saw the illest player in the WNBA. Enrique Agumbawali snapped in the All-Star game. She snaps today, tying the WNBA record for 3 points made in the game. 9 3-pointers.
If you didn't know her name, you know her name now.
You better know. You need to get used to her. She got 34 points, 8 rebounds. She is just the sickest player. Kind of like I knew of her before that All-Star game, but it was like, it's funny because before that game, she made comments about the Olympic team. Enrique did. She was like, basically, I'm not sure why I wasn't considered, but okay. Right. They're veterans because she's only like 2-3 years in the league. And they was down first half in the All-Star game, and then she just completely snapped. completely
crazy.
Like 30 plus points in the second half. All-star. She's multi-all-star, MVP. So yeah, I'm just saying, get used to hearing her name if y'all watch these streams.
The Olympic stars were shocked. Like they didn't know what hit them. They were like, "What's going on right now?"
I'm just saying, she is bad, right? So she came out there, and what I liked about Enrique, because I first heard of her. First of all, she went to Notre Dame, so I used to stay near Notre Dame, so
right,
kind of like a hometown thing, Indiana thing. And then also she used to train with Kobe. That's a cool little thing there.
Shout out to the number 24 that she's wearing.
You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, when people was hating on Caitlin Clark earlier this year, Enrique was one of the few current stars to say, "Oh no, like I hope they watch, my games more when she's there."
Heck yeah.
Because like that's giving me more attention. She's like, "Now I can showcase my talent," And so I respect her before I even really watched her play. And then I saw her play. I was like, "Oh snap!" Like, no, yeah, I respect the game. I respect that.
Nah, 100%. Hey, a quick update. USC, they came back and they're up 20-17 against LSU.
Okay, and there's 4 minutes left in the game. We'll definitely update that when we get a chance. And yeah, for sure. So that's an interesting ranked game because USC is barely a top 25 team, supposedly, but their defense looks better this year. And we'll talk about college in a second. But quick shout out to this game today.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark had another good game, 28 points, 12 assists. But I'm gonna give a little love to her teammate Kelsey Mitchell, who's like a vet on the Indiana Fever. She got 36 points.
She went off too today, man. She was
hitting threes. So, and that's why I was saying, like, that's what Angel could use, like someone to kind of someone else beast, on her team. Cardoso's coming around, but you need like a guard or something and a consistent.
So I think it was about 2 or 3 days ago. Chicago played against the Aces, and Reese had Carter on the floor with her. They lost that game by 2 points, by a layup, by Asia Wilson making that game-winning layup at the end of the game. Listen, that was the most competitive I have ever seen Chicago Sky play. And I'm talking about, like, they were passing the ball, defense. Carter was everywhere. Like, that's what Angel Reese needs. And, man, Caitlin Clark is already ahead of the game in that point of view of things.
I mean, just think of it too. Okay, the All-Star team. I mean, yes, both Caitlin and Angel made it. No one else on Chicago Sky was All-Star level, to even join Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark had 2 All-Stars, like, and that's why I know it's like this whole debate of who should be Rookie of the Year, and even some people mention Caitlin Clark for MVP. All I can say that Indiana Fever, they had the number 1 pick 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Now they have Caitlin Clark, and now she brought Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell to the All-Star game winner. She has 2 All-Star teammates now.
Yep.
They just became All-Stars. Like, so that's why my edge, because again, we love both their games, but team success is important too, I think.
Yeah.
If you're going to say who's going to be Rookie of the Year. Andrew Reese making history, and that's great.
It's more of an individual like greatness that she has right now, where it's like with Caitlin, it's an overall, like, not only is she playing great, but she's making people around her better, or at least bring out that greatness in them,
Exactly. It's just she's unlocking, because I didn't know Caitlin was such a point guard. I didn't know, like, she runs the offense like that. And now she's picking her shots and doing her thing. So like I said, like the comments said in the chat, they got our attention for sure, man, for sure. So we're looking forward to more with that. Now, you was mentioning college football, so we're gonna pull this up here.
Okay.
Now, this article just talking about grades and rankings, but I'm just using it as a reference. But we're gonna talk about the standouts the college football week 1. The week 0 was crazy. Florida State already lost. You already got upset, which was nuts. I didn't expect that.
I love it. I love to see it.
Yeah. It's like I wish I was in a position where I was like, oh, let's kind of fire this show up, but I just wasn't able to last weekend, and we had this huge upset. I'm like, oh man, that would have been perfect.
Right. What a way to start the week 0.
Yeah, but what you were saying though with the USC LSU, again, LSU is ranked 13.
Yep.
In the country, and they were supposed to be the team, but let's see, they got the ball now, 2 minutes to go. They're on their side, their own side. No, they're in the red zone. Okay, LSU is in the red zone, 2 minutes to go, down 2017.
It's a big possession.
So they should at least walk away with at least a tie, but they want to definitely go for that win. And that's just an example. There's been some exciting games this past week, man. And let's I'm gonna throw out a few teams, and you kind of let me know what stands out to you. But I'm just gonna start off first with everyone's consensus. Number one is Georgia Bulldogs. I thought it was gonna be a very interesting test for them early against Clemson. And then it didn't end up like a test at all. They destroyed. But shout out to Clemson just for the first half. They kept it interesting, right? They kept it interesting. But at the end of the day, Georgia, they're recruiting. They're recruiting NFL-ready talent every year. Georgia is just they're that program right now. Like how it used to be. Alabama was like clear winners of
that's a great
recruiting.
Comparison, actually. That's a really good comparison.
That's what Georgia is right now, man. And they have a quarterback. They say he's Heisman worthy. Carson Beck. I kind of did my scouting. You know, I look at the eye test, and I mean he reminds me of who's the guy? He just left Michigan, and he's in the pro. The Vikings just drafted him.
Oh,
he reminds me of him.
Mix or something like that.
No, he's from Michigan. I should know because I kind of like Michigan. But someone in the chat's like, yeah, that's my favorite team. JJ McCarthy.
There you go.
Carson Beck reminds me of JJ McCarthy, but Carson Beck, he don't seem that accurate to me though either. But he just seems like he's an okay quarterback on a really good team. But not going to take anything away from Georgia. They crushed them, right, Carl? I mean, it was.
I kind of tuned out after a while. I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous.
That's just it's SEC. So let's see when they play the Alabamas and teams like that. That's
right.
I have no interest watching Georgia just wax beat teams like that. That just Clemson had no chance. I'm sorry, but. That is what it is. Honorable mention, Ohio State. They're the number 2 team in the country. Again, I didn't even watch them, probably because I grew up more of a Michigan fan, so I just hated Ohio State. But they have nothing flashy for me to see. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. was there last year, so it was cool to watch them. But I don't know, nothing caught my attention with them. Oregon, who the number 3 team, they look like they took a major step back.
The only thing I liked about that game was their uniforms, bro.
They have the best uniforms in the country.
Oh man,
but now they're the ones that had Bo Nix. That was the quarterback.
Okay, there you go
for Oregon, and they got that Coach Lanning, who was taking shots at Deion Sanders last year because he was saying, they're just playing for the cameras, He was trying to hype up his own team. Yeah. So I don't know why they had the camera on in his locker room, but he was just basically like,
because he's Deion.
He's like, they're just there. They're just here, to take pictures. We here to win. It's like, okay, they want to win too. Like, come on now, calm down. But
play the game, Deion. Come on now, like it's 2 sides, Deion.
I'm just saying. But now I'm talking about the Oregon coach was talking, and so I was like, okay. And so with Oregon, I felt like they took a step back this year. But they are ranked pretty high, and they're in the Big Ten, meaning they're going to play Michigan and Ohio State. That's going to be a crazy conference, overall with Ohio. I'm kind of skimming past Texas because, again, no. Peyton Manning's nephew. Yeah. He's the backup, but they started to put him out there a little bit. It was a blowout, so time. You think? Did you see any of that footage? It was he was in there just for a minute, but
I saw when they put him in. Yeah, I saw.
He scored a touchdown. He threw for a touchdown. He showed a little mobility. He moves better than Peyton and Eli already, but it's just about his arm and up here. Does he? Do you think the genes is gonna, pass down like that?
And if it's not there yet, it'll get there. I think. With having an Eli and having a Peyton Manning in your corner, the one thing they're telling them is let's not rush this. Go out there. Let's go out there when you're ready and do it right. And I feel like the coaching staff is taking that approach with him. They're not just, he has the last name. Let's give him the number and put him out there and force it. That's how you lose your career. So
yeah,
I'm glad they're taking this approach.
I mean, I think I think it's cool. The whole lineage of like Hall of Famers, that's always a cool thing. And so I hope he's at least just decent enough.
Right.
He didn't win the spot this year, but because they had a senior, so it's kind of hard for a freshman or sophomore to kind of leapfrog.
Well, games like this, it's cool because now with the transfer portal, if he finds another school that is willing to give him that starting position, and he has more of that playing time, games like this where he's able to go out there and show a little bit of his talent. Now they're putting it, he's putting himself on the radar. So,
yeah, we'll see. Their current quarterback, Quinn Ewers, I think is his name. He's a third-year quarterback, so and he doesn't look like one of them guys that's like, oh, I'm about to go pro like any moment now. He's just like kind of okay in the system. My point though is if Arch Manning, if he isn't put in a starting position, if he doesn't feel like he's going to start next year, I could definitely see him leaving. I could definitely see him transfer. 100%. It's like okay, I'm going to learn for a year or two, okay. But now I think he redshirted the first year anyway, so it's like he has extra time. But they better be ready to start him next year and not play. Not play with that because that's going to be again that effect, that superstar effect. Oh, Manning's, and I just hope he lives up to it. Right. Alabama. And I watched most of this game. I mean, first on YouTube TV, I watched 4 at one time, so that's one thing. And then I may bring like a second TV out eventually. I don't know. But my point is
gonna have a wall full of TVs.
I'm just gonna have just a bunch of TVs. But I watched most of this game, and again, I'm scouting. I'm scouting all these teams. So Georgia. We'll talk about Penn State in a moment. I was impressed with them, but Alabama. Their starting quarterback, I forget his name, Jalen Milroe. This dude can't throw. Okay, like he can't. he cannot throw. Okay, Alabama still has. They still got the big hogs that they be recruiting, and they got talent everywhere. Last year he was benched, and then they brought him back. Coach Saban benched him, and then put him back in towards the end, and they nearly beat Michigan, the eventual champions, in the playoffs. So they have this talent everywhere. Yeah. He's the main thing that's lacking to me, Carlos. I don't know if you caught any of Alabama, but just I'm not impressed at all with him. I think Georgia's going to kill them. Any like top 10 team, I think, should beat Alabama.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that whole he fits in the at times, because that not really lying. And again, I'm saying this like outsider looking in. I don't really follow Alabama like that, but from what I've seen, it kind of just looks like he fits that system, and like they use it kind of like I hate to use this comparison because he is a good. I believe he's a good quarterback, but like a Purdy type of thing, where like he's kind of like he's in the system. Right. But if you were to put a guy like Dak in there, Dak will shine, type of thing.
It's just I'm really concerned with Alabama. Now, normally Alabama don't get the best quarterbacks though, but they have guys like you said that fits the system. They get everything else. So Alabama gets running backs, defensive players, everything, receivers. They just don't really get like this all star quarterback. But this is I'm just saying, if y'all see any of the Alabama games, they are going to lose a quarterback matchup probably every time. And like maybe they should call Arch Manning next year. Let's get him over to Alabama.
Hey, that would be quarterback. That would be kind of scary.
That wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, cancel that. So cancel that right now.
Quick update. Yeah, quick update. 2020 tie.
Yep.
And so LSU kicked that field goal.
LSU's got the ball moving down the field right now.
I thought USC had the ball.
Or UFC. Sorry, UFC is
UFC on the own side of the field. Less than 2 minutes, so we'll get an update on that. I apologize to Ole Miss fans. I really didn't watch them, so I don't know.
This was a decent game.
The Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
And Texas A&M. Notre Dame again. I'm surprised. This is what I'm surprised with is that just. There's now a lot of good quarterbacks. That's why that's why when you kind of know, we're gonna get to a few of them in the moment where you're like, okay, this guy got it,
Yeah.
George's Carson Beck, he's a pro, but I don't think he's the best quarterback in the country.
Right.
But when they don't got it, or it's like some limits to their accuracies, that's what I felt watching this Notre Dame Texas A&M game. I was like, okay, both quarterbacks ain't even ready for prime time. The defense is playing out of their minds, So that was the highlight of that game. But speaking of a team that was defense ready, wasn't sure about the quarterback last year. Penn State, this is probably one of the most impressive teams I watched this weekend, and their quarterback, Drew Aller. Last year, this guy just had the most shaky spiral. It's like most games, their defense was holding Michigan down, the eventual champions, Michigan. They were hanging in there against Ohio State because they're in the Big Ten. So they're playing these big teams. They got to play Oregon this year. But I was like, they don't have no offense, man. They can't move the ball at all. And then this dude, much respect to Drew Aller, he said, I got in the lab or something this offseason. And he came out airing it out. Like he was throwing the ball so well, like just like the clouds broke. Like it was like a thunderstorm.
It was raining.
It's like he broke the weather.
Pigs were flying and
he was so it just that's kind of like my first on my radar team. Penn State, they have the defense, and the question was the offense. It looks like they kind of figured out their offense. So that's
shout out to my sister. She's a fellow Penn State alum. She played volleyball with them. So yeah, man.
What's up.
Yeah. This game was crazy, and it was what was really crazy was the storm breakout, because it literally just came out of nowhere. And then they showed a little clip where you were watching the game of the announcers on the table, because I guess they're on the field, and the lightning. It was just like a whole storm, and they're like, "All right, let's get out of here." But no, it was a good game. It was a really good game to watch them.
Yeah. No, they put it. I mean, it was kind of over first half, so that was that break didn't hurt them that much, or delay. So that was interesting. Quick update: USC LSU. 18 seconds left. USC is only at LSU's 40. I don't think they got a leg to make.
They just threw a flag.
No.
Yeah, so I think it's going against LSU.
So if they move up, they probably get a game-winning field goal.
Yep.
Very interesting. Let's go to the next standout again. If something interesting happens, we'll kind of shout it out. But next team, when I mentioned teams on my radar, I was like, okay, what's the Miami Hurricanes gonna do? Like you going to the swamp in Florida?
Oh man,
Cam Ward, the transfer from Washington. Is it all hype, Carlos? Gotta say I'm impressed, man.
Bro. We finally have a quarterback, man. We finally got one. There was a stat that they said something about we haven't had a quarterback since 1990 something. I was like, yeah, we haven't.
I know. Wow.
Since I was born. Man. No, it was a breath of fresh air. And shout out to Fletcher coming off that injury and just scoring like there's no tomorrow. Recepo, I always mispronounce his name, but he was another one that dude, he was just catching everything. He had that one catch like this, and then the only person that kind of annoyed me was Brown Jr. At the end zone. He's running, right? He got a wide open, lane, and then Recepo. That's when Ward handed him the ball. He got it. He runs and he throws this beautiful. This is a receiver throwing beautiful pass, and this man just hits his hand. He goes one hand instead of going two hands. Hits his hand and drops it like that. I was like, man, that's all he needed. But now, other than that, man, what's his name? Damian was he reminded me of a little King Henry out there. The way he was running that ball, man, it was ridiculous. He was just bulldozing through everybody. It was a really fun game to watch, and of course, whenever we beat the Gators, like I'm gonna gloat. This is a rivalry. Like this was bled into my soul. Like I grew up a Hurricanes fan, and this is like I heard the stories of my dad fighting Gators fans, and my uncles. It's great.
Hey, y'all got a guy. If I'm talking about early Heisman watch, like he's definitely on that. Cam Ward, quarterback, definitely on that list. Maybe in the lead right now. Again, this is week 1. But this was a real, it wasn't like a little candy coated team or nothing. Like Florida came to play. Well, they was at home. They was in Florida. So he went to their house and put on a show. Now, I know people hate comparisons and quarterbacks and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, just looking at how he played, he can kind of be on a run. He sidearms is Mahomes-esque.
Come on, Phil, say it with your chest, Phil. Come on,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, man. I really was impressed. I was like, who's gonna come out and kind of take the narrative of Heisman? This is definitely my early pick, man. Cam Ward, if he keeps this up, what in the ACC? So
this is gonna sound crazy because I am a Hurricanes fan, obviously, but I have someone else taking that spot, and I feel like we're gonna touch on the team. So when we get on the team, that's when I'll say who I think is gonna take there.
All right. So let's see here. Let's go to the next standout. I already mentioned Michigan. They lost too many players. No one expects them to repeat at all, but they're the Big Ten. Michigan, they're happy if they beat Ohio State for the year. Like they're not going to win the championship, though. I don't see them, especially with the expanded playoffs. There's just too many, again, talented quarterbacks out there that they can figure out their defense. So, and
quick update: 13-yard rush touchdown by
touchdown.
USC. Holy smokes.
Did they? Are they reviewing something? It didn't pop up for me for some reason.
Nah, right now they celebrating. 8 seconds left on the clock. You got LSU fans crying right now. It's just madness. It's madness. It's madness right now.
Wow. Now again, USC ranked 23, LSU 13. This technically will be an upset.
Yep.
And it's in LSU. So very interesting there. I'll have to definitely catch some of the highlights because I was wondering how the quarterback, because the real cool thing about this USC, LSU, get the last 2 Heisman Trophy winners was on both of these teams, and they were picked 1 and 2 in the NFL draft, this last draft as well. Talking about Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. So who was going to, be the better replacement of a Heisman? I guess it was like USC. So
wow, he just ran through that whole defense right now. That's nuts. That's nuts. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun reaction.
Yeah, that's wild.
Texas,
next year,
Tennessee.
It's Tennessee. I didn't watch too much of them. Did you catch it?
Nah,
I really don't.
Yeah, no, I didn't catch Tennessee.
They mentioned they got a Heisman Trophy contender, so I have to try to catch one of their games next week.
Yeah,
to kind of see. And then Missouri. Now this was just this article as far as some of the standouts. Is there another team you mentioned that stood out to you?
Yeah, Dion's team, man. Hunter. I think he's gonna be that man. Yes, that guy right there. That guy right there. I think he only sat 2 possessions of that whole game. He played defense and offense. Like he's Mr. All-American. Like I think this man's gonna win it all, and he's gonna be like number 1 in the NFL draft. Like everybody's gonna be fighting to try to get him. Like if he stays healthy, and he continues this way, man, what?
I mean, this is my thing with obviously I think they started their games. I think it was Thursday or Friday. The Colorado game. Very impressive. Thursday. Very impressive performance by Travis Hunter, and like I said, 3 touchdowns, also playing defense. He was the best player on the field, at every snap, which is crazy. It's really crazy when you think about it. Only thing with Colorado, and I am doing a Colorado series, chronicling this on a Seal Nation Sports channel. So make sure y'all over there catching. I'm gonna do an update, looking ahead because they play Nebraska next, and Nebraska beat the brakes off of the team they played. Like it was like terrible.
Yeah.
And Nebraska wants a little revenge because last year Colorado played Nebraska. Nebraska didn't really have a quarterback, so they really didn't have a chance against Colorado. So they're going to be coming there, something to prove week 2. So that's going to be interesting. With Travis Hunter, the only reason why I'm not going to put him in the lead as the Heisman Trophy is that I don't know if they're going to get enough wins. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I believe your Hurricanes. I believe you're looking at at least 9 or 10 wins, or more. But Colorado's happy just to get 6. Or 7.
You're not wrong there.
You know what I mean? So that's the only way. That's the only reason why I'm like, it's gonna be cool to watch them, but we'll see. You know what I mean?
It's crazy though to imagine you have a guy who's lining up with you on offense, but then can also give you an insight from being on the defensive side of things. Of hey, look, this is how they're running this or doing whatever. That's freaking dope to me, man. I like seeing that.
And they say he basically was kind of bred to play both sides of the ball. So like he's been conditioned to do this. Yeah, and just most people just aren't. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, we'll see what happens with that. But again, those were some of the standouts for college football. Now, if your favorite team wasn't mentioned, it's probably because they're just not good enough yet. But if there are some honorable mentions. I mean, I'm thinking off the top of my head, Arizona had a crazy offensive performance last night. The receiver got like 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like it was insane. So it'll be we'll bring up some highlights when it's appropriate. But those are, like I said, something like basically the top 10 teams we kind of looked at. And
if you guys haven't, make sure you're following Sil on Twitter because he got some cool breakdowns, quick little highlight videos on there. It's dope. It's dope. Definitely go check it out.
Definitely on Twitter at Seal Nation Sports. Catch me now on Twitter. Also, we have the YouTube channel for that.
Yeah.
Where again it's going to be breakdowns. I've been covering like the Hard Knocks series. I'm going to cover the in-season edition as well. And we cover sports obviously, but then there's also the entertainment side of it where you got the Netflix series they're coming out with the basketball.
Yeah, my boy Jimmy down there.
Where they're following LeBron and Anthony Edwards as well. So I'm gonna be covering stuff like that. So definitely that's what that channel is for. And then night views for the live podcast for sure. So
yes, sir.
Interesting stuff. We got the upset USC apparently. We'll get to our final topic here because of the ultimate goal of all these guys is making to the pros, right? And if college wasn't enough excitement, the NFL is about to open this upcoming Thursday, man. The season
I'm
kickoff.
so excited.
The Chiefs versus Ravens, bro, is going to be pretty nuts. And then that's Thursday. Then they have the Friday game in was it in Germany or something? I forget, or Brazil. I forgot where they're going. That's Packers versus Eagles.
Yes, yeah. Was it Brazil? I don't remember. I know. I definitely know it's out of here.
I think it's Brazil. Let's see. Yeah. Packers Eagles on Peacock. That'll be this Friday. So you got the Thursday Chiefs Ravens. You got Friday football, right? Which is nuts. Oof. Then you have the Sunday opening and the Monday Night Football after that. So
I love
that's almost not fair. It's almost not fair. That's possible, but also you're seeing that you may have to subscribe to Peacock for the season. Now I got ahead of the game. I don't want to brag too much here, but
hey, me too.
Peacock had an annual deal. We just paid $19 and you got Peacock for the year. Yeah. I know they're gonna change it after the season, but after next year. But that was the greatest deal in the world because I was like, oh, I knew they was gonna get more NFL games, exclusive games, even playoff games. So yeah, Peacock. So leading up to the opening of the NFL season, we're just going to kind of lightly forecast the divisions. Once the season kicks off, we're going to have full NFL breakdowns. Like Sunday, the next Sunday is going to be crazy because that's the first week's going to be in, except the Monday game.
Like, all over the place.
It's going to be a lot of NFL. We're going to briefly touch on college, and then if something, Caitlin does something, but it's going to be all about NFL really. And then the Tuesday shows is going to be reacting to what happened Monday night and looking ahead. So that's gonna be really cool.
I don't know, guys. I think I might come in my Stephen A. Suit, for Sunday.
It's gonna be interesting. But what we want to do here, just briefly, we're gonna look at each of the divisions. We want to just kind of discuss who's probably the favorites in the divisions and who's probably clear cut the worst in the divisions. And so here on Night Views. And if you see me on Still Nation Sports, we're not trying to hurt people's feelings, but it's just we're just trying to be rational with expectations out here. All right, so we already up here with AFC East with this division, and a lot of people have different opinions on it. But we'll start with you, Carlos. What who do you think could be the favorite in this division? And it could be multiple teams, but if there's a clear cut one, let's say why.
Yeah, well, just in general, just as a complete team right now. Obviously, I'm gonna say the Dolphins because we do have a complete team. We had a nice run last year, and I feel like we're picking it up. Tua's lost a lot of weight. He's more mobile now. It's a different team in general. But not to say like don't sleep, and this is crazy because there are rivals, the Jets. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, that's a team that everybody should put on their radar. So it's between those two for me.
So interesting. You mentioned the Dolphins, definitely as far as complete team, because I think it's obvious if the Bills didn't lose so many players, like I think they would have still been the favorites.
Right.
They won a division last year. They do have, I feel, the better quarterback in this division, Josh Allen. Just overall talent to talent, I think he is the better quarterback. But he lost weapons, he lost defensive players, and the Dolphins, they're getting back, defensive players, and they have the best weapon in the world right now, Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
On his team. So if I'm going to say someone's favorite, definitely I'll be leaning towards the Dolphins. The Jets. It's weird. It's a weird thing going on with the Jets right now, Carlos. I don't know if you catching it or if the viewers are catching it, but I remember, like a year ago, around this time, the Jets, they was on Hard Knocks. Yeah. It was an Aaron Rodgers show. Like it was just like every episode, they were just glazing this dude. Everyone was like, it was like in the contract. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest. Like he can't do any wrong. It was a weird vibe, and I was like, I'm kind of ready to see how they're gonna look right now. We know what happened Monday night where he runs out, blows Achilles in 4 plays. It's very tragic. When it end. But now
you're making Jets fan cry in the chat right now. Come on.
But now you come to this season, is he still Aaron Rodgers? Because I'm not seeing the same buzz. Like, I mean, yeah, coming off of Achilles is coming off an Achilles, but sports medicine has advanced. We've seen Adrian Peterson come back when he tore like a knee ligament or something. He's come back and got over 2,000 yards. So what I'm saying is that it's not like a death sentence when they even blow their Achilles now.
Well, but I mean, you mentioned
I'm not seeing the hype.
You mentioned the Dolphins. Phillips on defense, he's back. Mm-hmm. He same injury, blew his Achilles. He got the same exact surgery as Aaron Rodgers, and we're hearing more about him than Aaron Rodgers.
If that's the case, because last season, Aaron Rodgers he went through the surgery, and he was on a Pat McAfee show. Shout out to the Pat McAfee show. I catch him when I can. There's too many shows on now. I can't watch everything,
especially FS1, man.
And we're on too, so I can't watch everybody, man. But I remember Aaron Rodgers is on there. He got Bill Belichick on there now, which is cool. Pat McAfee.
Oh shit.
And Aaron Rodgers, he got the surgery, and then like a couple weeks later, he's on the sideline throwing footballs and stuff. And I was like, this dude, like, already, he comes back like in 2 months? I'm like, what's going on? Because they had that trash Zach Wilson. They had to exile him away after last year.
That was the talk last year. Oh, is he coming back? Is he coming back?
I was like, this dude really about to try to play? Like, this guy's scary. And this offseason, I'm not feeling it. There's no Kool-Aid to drink, I don't think, for the Jets right now, man.
I think is because of that hype that we had last season. I think Aaron Rodgers, and I think the Jets in general, they're trying to keep everything like, let's get there and then let's move slowly because we don't want to overhype it. And because the Jets have bad luck. I mean, from Dirty Sanchez to Aaron Rodgers, blowing up his Achilles. Like I think they need to walk on eggshells.
I was upset though. I was so drained. It was opening week. I can't imagine how Jets fans feel. I was just like, when the season starts, I'm hyped. Like I'm watching college. Now we got WNBA stuff, and then NFL opens. You hype Thursday, all the Sunday games. I'm like, okay, Monday night, the Jets, like, let's go. And he just was together. It ruined my whole experience, man. It just really, it was hard to recover from that, man. I mean,
imagine that you feel that way. Imagine how the fans felt, bro.
Oh my god, I don't get mad. They probably felt how I felt my entire life watching the Bears. Just waiting for something good to happen from once. Y'all have to wait 35 years.
Go hug a Jets fan, all right? Go hug one if you see one, all right?
That was tragic, bro. So, all that being said, though, they have great defense, good running game. Breece Hall should only get better as a running back.
Right.
I do say, the Dolphins, you're talking about, 11 wins, and we don't got to guess all the wins, but I'm just saying, I think Dolphins is kind of that level where, it may be a better team in the AFC out there, but their division, they should be the favorites in most of those games. I'll put the Jets after them, and the Bills could threaten it. If Josh Allen just goes nuclear, which, you never could tell if he could take another step with new weapons, that could change this whole conversation. But, I say Dolphins. I'll say Jets, Bills fights it out. Because I think between those two,
I would say Bills will be more reliable compared to the Jets. I can see that being a thing.
Yeah, that could be the difference of the playoffs between the Bills and Jets. And we all know the Patriots are the worst team in this division. So we got to talk about them.
Keep rolling. Keep it going.
Move on to the championship division. AFC West now. This is more of an interesting division because these teams, if people haven't realized, quiet as kept the last 2 seasons, these teams have kind of figured out how to play the Chiefs. Like any given Sunday, they could steal a game or two. The Chargers had good success. The Raiders stole one. The Broncos stole one. So I'm just saying the Chiefs are going to win 12 games probably, but they're not going to just cakewalk their division. I think someone else in the division, if they get hot, they can still challenge them, in my opinion. But I think it's clear, though, Carlos, Chiefs are the best team.
100%, 100%. But I will say now with that new identity that Broncos have as well, it's a team to watch at least. I mean, they may not get far, but I can see them stealing a couple wins that they were supposed to lose. But definitely Chiefs are on top. 100%.
Yeah, Chiefs on top. Chargers, I think that, this is year 1 of the Jim Harbaugh plan.
Yeah.
Not doubting his brilliance. He took Colin Kaepernick to the Super Bowl. So I think he could do anything, right? And Cap was actually good there a couple of years. But the point is, Harbaugh knows how to build a system.
Yeah.
He got a team to the Super Bowl. He got a national championship in college. So he's coming to the Chargers now. They did clean house. That's how we got Keenan Allen with my Bears, so appreciate that. But how's his offense going to look? And I would say, is Justin Herbert? I don't know if it's controversial, but it's like, is he really like? Has he really taken a step? I mean, he had about 4 years now, I think. And so
Yeah.
at around this time, Josh Allen took his step. He was
Right.
like, oh, Josh Allen, oh, he's up next, right? He could battle with Patrick Mahomes. Justin
Tua
Herbert
took his step.
Tua, and again, it's good when you get the weapons too. That definitely helps.
100%,
Even with the
100%.
coaching changes and things like that. But it's like you know what you got with Tua.
Yeah.
With Herbert, it's like, is he really him? Like, I don't know. You're a fan of his game?
Not that I'm not a fan, but I think this is the year. It's just there's always been comparison with Herbert and to me as a Dolphins fan. I always have to hear this debate between the two.
Yeah, to the draft. Yeah. They thought, we should have drafted Herbert.
Yeah. And my thing is I feel like this is Herbert's year to prove that he's that guy. Whether it's winning games or just being that accurate, good quarterback. I feel like this is the time. You got that coach under you now. You got an actual system you could go under, and so I feel like this is his season. But then again, I'm not out here. I ain't gonna talk trash about Herbert. Like he can ball. It's just a matter of when and if he's gonna take it to that next level.
I'm just saying, I gotta see a next level with this because they already paid him. Yeah. He has less weapons now, though, so it's like he has to, kind of, make other people better or, use his team better.
Right.
So it's a question mark. I'm not just going to give them number 2 in this division. Now people think with the Raiders, okay, they got what's the mustache guy? They got it's kind of he's like a journeyman backup quarterback, but he's starting for them.
Connor or something like that.
Well, he's trash. They got Gardner Minshew.
Minshew.
They signed Minshew away from my Colts. That's my other team.
Yeah.
But Minshew is your starter when he's more of a
trash.
Yeah, the Raiders fans know Aiden O'Connell is trash. Y'all know he is. But Gardner Minshew can come in and take your job. You trash, O'Connell, right? So I think Minshew, he's good, like relief wise. Like he did great for my Colts. We probably should have made the playoffs with him. We got 9 wins last season with Minshew, because Anthony Richardson got hurt, early. And so I don't know the Raiders. I mean, you got Devontae Adams, so you have a big weapon, So I don't know. Raiders, they got the new coaching situation. The team buys into the coach, Pierce. So I don't know. That could be a sneaky team, Carlos, is what I'm saying with the Raiders. I just don't really know. I can't define them.
Yeah, well, and also like having Devontae Adams is just a big, like you can never sleep on him. It's just tough because Minshew, if he stays healthy, I think he can be a decent quarterback for them. But it's just it's the others, it's just the others right now, and that's how I feel about the Raiders. They're just the others,
Yeah, I think it's too many question marks there. I think the Chargers should be better than them because Harbaugh, I think, will have a better system than what the Raiders. And the Broncos. Sean Payton, he just seems like a jerk every time you see his face, but he's a winner. But him, like everyone think he did Russell Wilson wrong, but then it's like you saw Russell Wilson play. You're like, oh, maybe Russell did us all wrong because we had to watch him play bad. But he got his rookie quarterback, Bo Nix from Oregon Ducks. Broncos drafted Bo Nix a little earlier than people thought they should. But he was there. They needed a quarterback. They got him. I'm going to say, I think Sean Payton got the team that he wants. Like he kind of cleaned house.
Yeah.
But, he sent off Jerry Jeudy. He got him. He shipped him to Cleveland. That's like a punishment. And then and
he's over there in the massage parlors with Watson.
But they still got Sutton as is he a true number 1? Probably not. So, we'll see. But Bo Nix is an accurate, passer. He was great in college. He went to college for like 8 years.
And it's what Sean, Peyton always liked as a coach is molding that quarterback, and now he can actually do that with this young with Knicks. So
yeah, I mean, he did wonders with Drew Brees, and I know Drew Brees would never deny he never would have won one without Sean Payton. So
100%.
So definitely that's what you want as a coach. You got your guy. And just in a weird way, I think the Broncos going to be better than people thought. So I can't really pick a worse team in this conference, to be quite honest. It's going to be some interesting games.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see with that. The AFC North, very interesting division. NFL, and I'm seeing with college too. It does kind of come down to your quarterback. So in this division, I think it's clear the Steelers are the worst team in this division.
100%.
All the love to Mike Tomlin. This may be the year where he breaks his streak, having a 500 or better record. I don't know how he's going to get out of this one because you didn't have a quarterback last year, but you got like 2 bad ones right now.
Yeah, but I mean, so you're trusting Watson to stay on the
yes,
high.
I think he's going to stay out of the parlors. Yeah, I do believe.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying because having Fields, Fields is. I think he's going to take that starting spot. I don't think Russell's going to stay.
Yeah, I believe. I agree.
And I think if you put the right coach and the right team around Fields, he can be an elite quarterback. It's just a matter of at the time. When he was on Chicago, he didn't have that, he did have DJ Moore, and stuff, but
DJ Moore last year.
Yeah, but this is like a new, fresh, like there's not that doubt anymore. It's more of like it's a new system, a new coach. I mean, he ain't really high on either quarterbacks. He says, it's either this or that, but
I think it's the last hurrah of Russell Wilson. Like, hey, he's had a great career. He's won a Super Bowl. He made the 2 Super Bowls. That it was a period in time where it's like, hey, Russell Wilson, is he like a top 3, top 5 in the league? He had those couple years where he was doing his thing. And then your body only can take so much as well. Like I'm only saying this because we've seen quarterbacks the last decade. If we've been watching the game when they start getting a little punch drunk. Ben Roethlisberger was a clear example of a quarterback where he stayed a year too long. It's like, I still got the arm. And it's like, you got the arm, but it's like you may have CTE as well or something like you know what I mean? There's something. So it's like you may want to go off on yourself right off on the sunset. And I think that's where Russell's at. I agree when you say Justin Fields, he should end up taking the job. Yeah. And I think that's gotta tell Russell at that point, like, okay, maybe, maybe I don't got it. Like I always give credit to Peyton Manning when his arm went out pretty much in the middle of a Super Bowl run. They didn't win the Super Bowl that year with the Broncos. But Peyton, he realized in the middle of the season, it was some awesome sideline coverage of that, where the quarterback had to take him, the coach had to take him out the game. He was like, Peyton, he was like, you're trying to make throws you can't make anymore.
Yeah.
I have to sit you. And it was just insane to see that. I'm like, Peyton Manning got benched. And then you got to the playoffs and Peyton's like, okay, I got to play different. I still could carve y'all up, but I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Ben, his arm went out 2 seasons before, and he just kept trying to. It's like, bro. So my point, just Russell, hey, this is your last dance, right?
He could pull a Flacco like Flacco did last season. They make it to the if they make it to the playoffs, which I doubt they will. But
shout out to Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Joe Flacco. I mean, hey, they should have got Joe Flacco. That's what they should have done.
Yeah.
I think that would have been good.
His price went up.
Yeah.
His price went up after last year. Just jumping in there with the Browns. And see who got Flacco's with the Colts. That's insane.
So
You
I
got
thought he
Anthony
was done.
Richardson.
He's still playing right now.
Yeah, the Colts signed him.
Oh man.
Anthony Richardson, he's coming back the rookie phenom Cam Newton 2.0 is
Yeah.
basically how he plays. But he got to stop running into, dipping his shoulder trying to truck people. So you got Flacco just in case now. If he gets hurt again, you got Flacco. So interesting right there. But yeah, so the point with the Steelers, I think they're going to have the worst record of these teams. I hope Fields wins the spot because if he plays, I think over 60% of the snaps, my Bears get a 4th-round pick from the Steelers. So I'll be happy if that's part of the deal. Yeah. They gave him a 6th round up front because again, but
that's interesting.
They can graduate. Yeah. So we need Fields to get some more reps.
Do you think maybe that's why they started Russ over him? It could be
Oh yeah, this is business. Yeah, this is business. They Mike Thomas hoping like Russ, like please win this job, like
do
we
something.
Gotta give him a pick, man. Like we,
poking a dead guy with a stick.
Now they're only paying Russell Wilson $1 million, right? The Broncos is paying ridiculous. Russell Wilson $30 million to not be on their team, and the Steelers are paying him $1 million, and so just financially the Steelers are okay, but it's that draft compensation. They're like, please, Russ, and you get at least start like 8 games. Like it will be okay. I don't think he's gonna make it though. I'm gonna give him a month. I'm gonna give Russ a month, and then I think Fields will start now.
I'm giving him game 1. That's I don't think I think it's gonna be a sad.
You may be right, man. Because he didn't look good. I mean, I know preseason's preseason, but you at least want to have like one good drive. I remember growing up in Indianapolis, with the Colts in the old dome, RCA dome, and Peyton Manning, Edgerrin James, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne. And in the preseason, Peyton wouldn't do anything to the 3rd game. Now it's the 2nd game. They shrunk, the games. But that 3rd game was like dress rehearsal, full dress. Like tickets were going crazy because like you're going to see Peyton play for a couple series, see how the new team looks. And Peyton, he got there, he said, I want 1 touchdown drive and then pull me, And he'll try to make that first drive a touchdown every time. And if something happens, then Peyton's like, I want to go back in. Let's go back in. Because we got to get a touchdown to preseason. But it's like you want to look, it's dress rehearsal. It's like you want to look good.
Right.
And Russell, he didn't look good all preseason. Like he didn't he looked terrible.
It's but what you're talking about there too is like it was the same thing with when I was watching my Dolphins preseason game. They put Tua out for 1 game, his first game. I think it was the 2nd preseason game. He went out there. It was a long drive, but he got runs in. He was mobile. He got a nice pass at the to the end zone to get a touchdown. They wrapped him up, went to the locker room, took off his shoulder pads. That's it.
That's how you do it right there. I mean, my Bears, Caleb Williams, he needed 3 drives because they're figuring out the offense.
Yeah.
They kept having to punt, and they're just like, no, we got to get one.
That's my dark horse of the league, man.
It's like we got to get one. But that's what the preseason's for. And if you end the preseason, you're not sure who your quarterback is. That's like, bad. So yeah, it still is definitely. I'm sorry, this ain't gonna be good. But with that being said, though, we spent a lot of time on the worst team in this division. Who thinks gonna win this division, man? This is a powerhouse division.
Definitely the Bengals. I'm going with Bengals. Barrow just looks different. He just, I mean, no pun intended. Haircut. I know he changed his haircut, but
it's something different about Barrow.
Yeah, he looks like Eminem, No. He just got that look, man. He got that look like he ain't playing around this season. Like he heard all the hoopla from last season and all the craziness, and I think he's just gonna settle in. They made some movement. So I feel like for them to be good, he needs to really step up, and I see him taking that next step. Because with the Ravens, as great as the Ravens are, especially adding King Henry, the question to me is, and I, obviously having King Henry is helping them, but my question, I guess I'm going to put out there is it going to limit Lamar Jackson's way of playing? Because he's so mobile as a quarterback. Now you have the best guy on the field to run the football. Why would you want Lamar, your quarterback, running so much with the football? Unless they push King Henry more out to like receive the ball more, maybe that would be pretty cool. I mean, it'll help me and my fantasy team, But but that's where that question lies for me. Are you gonna refer more to Flowers, or are you gonna let Henry eat? We've seen Henry take a Tennessee team and put it on his back and take it all the way to the end zone. So we've seen it for years on end. Now he actually has a team to play around. So now, do you limit King or do you limit Lamar's attributes? I don't know.
That's an interesting point that you say with that. I think if I'm saying, because it's a quarterback-driven league, right? If I'm saying playoff time, who's going to give you the best chance to get past Patrick Mahomes? That's Joe Burrow, because he's done it before, right? As much as I love Lamar Jackson, it's just it's like he's like Reggie Miller playing Michael Jordan. Like, he's never gonna beat him. Like that's just he can never get past him. So I'm just
still want all the people to come in our chat, man. He want all of them. He wants Jets fans. He's talking now. He's talking. Come on, man.
Hey, they heard my disclaimer. I try to tell y'all, like, we feelings will be here. Hey, I grew up a Bears fan. Like, I've taken punishment my entire life, so it's like everybody's getting it. But it's like, but regular season, I see the Ravens are a well-oiled machine regular season.
Yeah.
So they're going to get 13, 14 wins, I feel. I really good. Bengals may get one off of them. Maybe the Browns will get one off of them because they have a great defense, Myles Garrett and the crew. But regular season, I think it's Baltimore is the best overall team. Now, the Bengals, it's all about health, right? Like
100%.
Because if they're healthy, bro, I mean, you got arguably best receiver in the league, Jamar Chase. Now I know Justin Jefferson, they were old teammates, and they're like the two best receivers in the world. But Jamar Chase, I saw games where Burrow was like, he's just throwing it up. Chase is double covered, and all of a sudden Chase like pulls away from double coverage and he's wide open. It's like Jamar Chase is a sick receiver. Like, I'm just saying that.
And they picked up Moss too, because Mixon left.
And he's still. So the running game, but with them, they use the running game kind of strategically. So you didn't need like an all-purpose back like a Mixon, who's going to do great with the Texans. I think that's going to be a really good pickup.
That's going to be fun to play. That's going to be fun to watch.
But it's about Burrow, it's Chase, T. Higgins. He's not happy because he didn't get his money. But if he go out there and ball out, I mean, I don't know. Are they going to pay him? It could be a few things that probably hold the Bengals back outside of health.
Right.
I don't see them being like a 12-win team. That's what it's going to take to win this division. So we'll see. And then like the Browns again, they think they have that quarterback. They would guarantee $30 million or $100 million for him.
That is a ridiculous contract, bro. That is a ridiculous contract.
Now to give them credit, they did restructure it. So
okay.
They can't take his bonus away. Like, I think it was 130 guaranteed, which is that is insane. That's insane. That's insane. And then per year he's getting 30, and they found a way to move some of that money to like either convert it to a bonus or they're probably cheating, But the Browns, they have my favorite defensive player, Myles Garrett. And a lot of people like T.J. Watt from the Steelers. Garrett is just nasty, and that's going to keep him in a lot of games. But Browns, it's just hard to say like, oh, they're Browns are the favorite. It's really hard to say that. You really can't. I think they can win like 10 games. I think they're a challenge for the playoffs for sure.
Right. But again, it goes back to what you said with the Bengals. It's all about health. I feel like this division right here, it's all about health. It's all about health. And that goes even for Baltimore. Because with Lamar, that's he last season he was healthy all the way through, and the season before wasn't he hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt 2 seasons ago, and they still made the playoffs, but that guy sucks. But with Derrick Henry, I think you want to feature Derrick Henry more. The Ravens, they always have a bunch of running backs. They always have good defensive players.
Yeah,
I think they're winning like 13, 14 games. So we'll see. It's going to be some good matchups in that division. as well. Going to the South, AFC South. So in this division, this is an interesting division because it'd be really easy to say, oh, the Titans are the worst team, but I'll just say they will have the less wins because they're just, when you're talking about stages of a team, you know, we'll talk about the Texans in a minute. It's probably not even fair with that. Colts, you know, they have their quarterback, Anthony Richardson, plus they just have a good structure. They have, you know, they're going to win 9 games.
Pittman Jr., all of them,
guaranteed, right? They're building something there. Jaguars, they've kind of built it. I don't believe in their quarterback, but they're going to win 9 games at least. You already know they are. Titans, you can't really just pencil it in. Oh, they're going to win. It's like, we got Will Levis. They got some nice, you know, defensive players they kind of put in there.
Yeah.
I just compared to the rest of the teams, Carlos, in this division, I'm just saying that the Titans are, I'm not saying they're terrible. They're just behind.
Yeah, well, you see, for me, I kind of feel like Jags and Titans are fighting for that last spot. Like,
interesting.
It's kind of like how you said, like, this is what, year 3 or 4 of the Jaguars, like that team that they build around Lawrence, and it's like, yeah, it's meh. Yeah, it's like meh. It's like it's not good and it's not bad, but it's really like yeah, pretty much. So it's like seeing them together, and then with Titans, it's like you can see the growth at least, and that to me, that as a team aspect, that builds hope. And when you're playing teams like a Jaguars who don't really know what their identity is, that can give you that level of like, hey, I'm gonna, you know, run it all over. So that's why I'm saying they're kind of fighting for that last spot, but obviously Texans number 1, like, you know, in this division, like this is no question.
Texans is the best team in this division. I mean, CJ Stroud had the best rookie quarterback performance ever that I've seen in my lifetime, and he
Caleb Williams
won a playoff game, which it's like that. I only can imagine what that does for like a rookie quarterback and a rookie coach, D'Amico Ryans, and so that whole staff, that whole team. You're like, oh, like we actually figured this out already. Now let's just get better, like, you know. Yep. So it's like they're so far ahead of the curve. The Texans, they're a trendy pick, you know, like who can jump into that? Who can stop the inevitable Patrick Mahomes versus Joe Burrow AFC Championship game?
Yeah,
I know you would think your Dolphins probably, but the Texans are a trendy pick to who can, because it's like back in the day growing up. I remember when the 49ers and Cowboys like met every year, NFC Championship. Like who's gonna break through? And one year, like Brett Favre upset
everyone.
The 49ers, I believe. Steve Young and the 49ers. Like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be Cowboys and who's this Brett Favre dude? Like, who is this guy? And so it's just like you wonder who's going to break that, you know, that cycle. Texans are a trendy pick. Now, let me ask you, Carlos, you still see people saying like, oh, Stephon Diggs, like, is he like, you know, locker room cancer or something? You think he could affect the flow over there in a bad way?
So, and this is, I'm going to use my basketball NBA, you know, stuff and move it over to here. The pattern of how Diggs is being treated right now is very Jimmy Butler-esque. You remember Jimmy Butler from Chicago went to Minnesota, then from Minnesota went to the Sixers, you know, that whole situation, and then ended up with the Heat. And before he get to the Heat, what was the number one thing about Jimmy Butler everyone was saying? He's a cancer. He's fighting his teammates. He's getting the bench and going against the starters and all that. Diggs, the thing is with Diggs, he had to be that guy to get the best out of Josh Allen. And that's that for to the end of time. That's how I see that, because right after Diggs will get in Josh Allen's face and start yelling at him and start doing all this, what did Josh Allen do? He will ball the heck out. So what he's going to do here is he doesn't need to worry about that anymore. All he has to do is get open, catch the ball, and score.
because you have an established quarterback. He proved to you that he could win a playoff game, and it's a whole new it's a change of scenery. And same thing with Jimmy Butler. It's a change of scenery. People are behind you. They're supporting you now. It's not so much of that back and forth, So that's how I see that situation with Diggs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I would say it is kind of odd because it's like with the Bills, people thought, oh, they'd be the team that challenge the Chiefs every year, and it's like you would think the team will be built up. I mean, I think just Stephon Diggs, he probably just saw the writing on the wall, like this team's about to kind of probably scale back a bit, get me out of here,
Well, they started throwing away from him as well, which that to me I never understood because he's supposed to be your number one receiver, And then I understand Gabe Davis. Yeah, Gabe Davis. He was great on that team, which he's on the Jaguars, by the way. So that's something to keep an eye out because Trevor Lawrence actually has he has Ridley and Davis now. But back to Diggs, it's like you're the number one guy, and yet you have to beg Josh Allen to throw you the ball, and that to me is like Josh Allen has to, I don't want to say give credit to only Diggs, but Diggs was a big part of his success. So it's like, to me, it's just, that change of scenery is going to change everything.
Yeah, I think he's going to do well. And just a brief correction, Calvin Ridley, he actually went to the Titans.
Okay.
The Jaguars didn't re-up him. That's why I was surprised. Like the Titans were like signing people, but I was like, I don't know. Maybe they think Will Levis is ready. I mean, we'll see. But Texans definitely best in this division. I think the other three, they're kind of fighting just to again get 9 wins, hopefully.
Pretty much
for the year. You know what I'm saying? So
seeing who they can catch sleeping, pretty much.
Exactly. We spend a lot of time on the AFC for some reason. I don't know why, but
I feel like these are gonna be quick. That's why.
Yeah, we're probably gonna zoom through these NFC
because Cowboys trash. Come on
now. Okay, NFC East. So I think I'll just start off like that. I think most people would say, okay, talent wise. The Eagles, they just got Saquon Barkley. They got the whole system with Jalen Hurts. Took him to the Super Bowl before. Brown. They lost Jason Kelsey, center. But, so the continuity, it could be some offensive line issues early, with them. But I just think the Eagles should be the favorites, right, in this division. They usually get about 11 wins.
Yeah.
I know they had some inner conflict last year or whatever, but you got A.J. Brown. You got who's the other guy? They got a couple good receivers on that team.
Smith,
yeah, Devontae Smith, yeah. So the Eagles, they should be favored right now. I'll just say, okay, the Giants are the worst team. I think the Giants are the worst team in this division. I think Daniel Jones.
I agree, but something inside me is telling me that the Dallas Cowboys will find a way. They will find a way.
Controversy. You think they got the worst record in this division?
I think they're going to find a way to do it, especially with all these no contracts being signed, and they will find a way, my friend.
Wow,
find a way.
The Cowboys, potentially the worst record in the NFC East. Like I said, Giants, Daniel Jones though is really terrible.
Yeah. So I think I could play a better quarterback.
So I think he's going to really keep him in the bottom. But the Commanders got Jaden Daniels. People are arguing like, hey, he's probably even more talented than Caleb Williams. So
they also got Austin Eckler. Which is not
pickups. And they got a couple receivers, Terry McLaurin, a couple guys over there that Jaden can throw the ball around. Obviously, he's athletic. He was the Heisman Trophy winner last year.
I think they got Brian Robinson Jr., the running back, too. That's a good.
So Commanders, I think they're going to be competitive. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but I just think they'll be better than the Giants. Overall. So I don't think they're going to be the worst team in this conference. Now the Cowboys, it could be a chemistry thing. It could be, but for regular season, Dak Prescott, he usually could pencil in 10 wins with Dak Prescott. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. You know,
I mean,
we're not talking playoffs.
when we're talking toxic, like like after everything that happened with Ezekiel Elliott's back on that team. Like that to me is just
that's
that,
weird.
like with everything that happened between him and then now he's back, and it's like you're signing Ezekiel Elliott before you sign Micah Parsons, before you sign Dak Prescott. Like it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We talked about it in the last show. Like I think they just need to blow that team up, man.
Yeah, I think it's a chemistry thing. I mean, they signed CD Lamb, right? Gave him about what, $34 million, which is that's insane. But it's like if you do that, then when you just go and pay your quarterback too, like I would have paid Dak before the receiver.
And to me, I feel like that conversation about paying Dak Prescott has been a conversation we've had for the past 5 years. And we're still right now wondering, is Dak Prescott going to get paid?
If I'm Dak, it's like you put up your numbers this year and, just hit the open market, man. Like this is too much.
There's rumors out there that Giants might be throwing some money his way, or Vegas. So that would be interesting to see him on a Vegas team or on a Giants team.
I think Vegas will work pretty good for Dak. Dak, I mean, he needs a ready-made team, a team where it's like we just need a competent quarterback. I think the Raiders is probably a better situation than the Giants
or Steelers.
Dak will be perfect with the Steelers. Actually, he will be perfect. Because I said all he needs is a quarterback. So, right. Yeah. But this division, I mean, Giants. I still say Cowboys. I'm sorry, Eagles is top. I still say Cowboys get
second,
10 wins. Probably slides into the playoffs. It'll be cool to see how the Commanders play against everybody in that division. NFC West. So, this is kind of a weird division too. I think I will say the bottom feeders. You're talking about Cardinals, Seahawks. I don't see both of them challenging anything.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the Rams, man. I'm a fan of
Stafford.
Just what they're doing. Yeah, you got Stafford, you got Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams. They got some of the best names in the NFL, and they're actually good. The team is actually good.
Yeah,
I know Aaron Donald retired, so he's not there. But this team could be a sneaky team. I mean, you still got Cooper Kupp. He's not even your best weapon anymore. So
that is crazy to me. He was their number one guy.
I'm not just going to just hand it over to the 49ers. I know they brought, they paid Brandon Ayuk. He's getting $30 million. You got Deebo Samuels. Rumor is they want to get rid of Deebo Samuels. So we'll see after the season. So Brock Purdy, because they got to pay Brock Purdy after this year. I'm not. All I'm saying is that the 49ers likely will be that 12-win team. Rams probably get 10 wins. I'm just not ready to just anoint 49ers already. Like, you're gonna take it again.
Yeah. Look, here's my thing with the 49ers that I had to say, because you brought him up. Brock Purdy. I feel like, so I don't know if we're gonna touch on this, but the whole Tua situation about him not being an elite status quarterback or whatnot. And I feel like Tua gets so much, and this is coming as a fan perspective. He gets so much ridicule, but Brock Purdy is in that same situation as Tua is in. He was put on a team that's established, has great, assets to use. Why aren't we bashing on Purdy as much as we're bashing on Tua? Is it because he has Tyreek Hill? Is that the whole situation? Like, I feel like they're more alike than a lot of people are putting them. That's just my theory. I'm just throw it out there, see who catches, who grabs it, and wants to talk about
it. That's interesting. Interesting take there. That what's really so different between you say Tua and Brock Purdy? It's a good question. I understand with the 49ers. I mean, last year, obviously they had the same stack team. McCaffrey, best running back in the game. overall running back. And it's like you saw when they had those injuries in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy had his worst games of his career. And it's like, I don't know. Like, we're just gonna see. We're gonna see how things shakes up this year. Just not. I'm just not ready to be like 49ers for sure. Not like the Chiefs. You look at the Chiefs division. Chiefs, they got it right. But it's like, I'm gonna sleep on the Rams now. Now the best division in the league, NFC North.
Hey, I actually agree with you on this.
Now, first off, Vikings, they lost J.J. McCarthy. So, they still got Justin Jefferson. They still got, some weapons. But I think they're going to be, have the least wins. Not going to be a bad team, just like the same. I was talking about it's just you got 3 other potential playoff teams in this division. Now, on paper, this is what I would say. On paper, the Lions should be the favorite on paper. Like, just overall, just they do have a complete team.
Where's MTJ?
The Lions actually have a complete team. Jared Goff is a pros pro. Amon St. Brown, whatever his name is. He's a solid receiver.
Gibbs.
Laporta, tight ends. I mean, they got a good running attack. And everything. So it's like they have a complete team. They added defensive weapons. They drafted well. The Lions should be they should get like 10, 11 wins. Who's going to challenge that? The Packers had a good playoff run as well. Jordan Love, most people are saying like, oh, he's him. Like he's the guy. Jordan Love, he can make a lot of good throws. He was one good play away from beating the 49ers really in the playoffs last year. So after destroying the Cowboys. So it's like I just feel this division is up in the air. I mean, obviously, my Bears, we still got to see this all come together in the regular season. Caleb Williams, rookie quarterback. Can it be done? I mean, yeah, we saw CJ Stroud have a good rookie run as well, winning his division. Bears can get 10 wins as well. So if it takes 10 wins to win his division, I think it's open. It's an open race.
So I was kind of struggling with this one a little bit, but this is how I think it's gonna go down. I think the Bears are gonna be top in this division, with the Packers coming very close in that second spot. I actually see the Lions dropping a third, and then obviously Vikings at the end, just because of all the injuries that the Vikings have. They could surprise some teams, but there's way too many injuries going on with the Vikings. But the reason why, and shout out to First Things First on FS1. I've been catching all those shows.
It's the best show.
Yeah. They mentioned one of the teams that had a rookie quarterback that went all the way to the Super Bowl, and the mirror of that team, I believe it was Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, that they were talking about because they were talking about the Bears, is that the Bears defense is also good this year, and with all the weapons you have on offense, having a good defense as well is like you can never sleep on the Bears. And dude, I drank the Kool-Aid of Caleb Williams. I am a Caleb Williams. He's my number one quarterback on both of my fantasy teams. Like I got him on my list. Like I think he's gonna go all the way. No pun intended. I really do. Man. And
I mean,
Jordan Love,
Yeah,
I mean, with Jordan Love, for me, it's just a matter of, can you do it again? Can you, was what he did last year the best he can be? Or can he, obviously players training, they get better, but can he do it again?
Right.
It's just right now with the Bears, there's just so much upside to it. And then adding a Swift as your running game. You got Keenan Allen, like how you mentioned earlier. You got DJ Moore, like, bro, like you guys got weapons and a mobile quarterback, who looks
like an Aaron Rodgers as well. So I mean,
he definitely emulates Aaron Rodgers, which is scary. That's definitely
right,
scary for the league.
right.
I'm
It's
just
like
saying.
a Bears fan and a Packers fan had a baby and decided, all right, here you go, Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. I'm just, like I said, the Lions should be the favorite, but I think we match up well with all these teams. I mean, really, just from the Bears fans' perspective, our goal is, are we going to kind of conquer the Packers? That's been our problem.
Yeah.
As long as Aaron Rodgers has been there, even when Favre was there. So that's your goal. We kind of start for a year like, let's be as good as we can be until we face, we meet the Packers. Let's show them what's up, and then that could spring us for the season. So, they play the Packers like later on in the year, but so we get a chance to really get out there, whoop up with some teams, stack up some wins, and then the back half of the year, like I think after the bye, then we face the Lions and Packers 2 times apiece.
I think I'm going to try to go to a game this year. I've never been to either a Bears game or a Packers game. I want to go to their stadium, check it out, see what you Bears fans are about.
As crazy as any other fans,
yeah.
but no, definitely I should be through Indianapolis sometime this fall. I'm gonna try to go to a couple Colts games, and then Bears. I have to see if I can. That'd be cool to actually get out there for that. But it's gonna be very interesting. Again, these division games. It's gonna be really interesting. I can't wait to see what we got with that. Last division, probably the worst division in the league, NFC South. I guess the Falcons is probably the best structured team. I mean, none of these teams are going to get over 9 wins.
Who's quarterbacking for the Saints right now?
They still got Carr.
They got Carr? Okay.
Yeah.
Where did what's his name? Winston go?
Who signed Winston? I just saw him on the sidelines with somebody too. He's a backup wherever he's at. He's not.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not starting anywhere. But he just can't. He's kept throwing the ball away. He's with the Browns. Yeah, he's with the Browns. He's backing up Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
He may get some burn over there because Watson, he's injury prone.
Yeah.
Just like the Flacco deal. You behind someone that gets nicked up. But this division's terrible. Like if I look on the TV, I see any of these teams on. It's like the Falcons, Kirk Cousins. It'll be interesting to see how I'm a fan of Bijan Robinson. Yeah, he's a weapon on the Falcons. You got Michael Penix. They drafted him to back up Kirk Cousins for some reason.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But I'm not really impressed with this division. I mean, whoever wins the division, they make it to the playoffs. The rest is go home.
Yeah, exactly. And they may not even make it far in the playoffs. Yeah, Saints and Bucks.
Winston's and James Winston on the Browns, Saints and Bucks. You think the Saints are going to win the division? I don't know. Maybe this division will be close. I mean, all I'm saying is that 9 wins probably wins this division.
Yeah, and you can't really like pencil in who's top, who's not. It's more of a like.
So I said Saints.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe a battle of attrition or something. I don't know because I'm just not impressed with any of these teams. I mean, like I said, it'd be cool. Make it to the playoffs, then it's like you're getting thumped first game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think the Saints, what moves that they've kind of had the same defense going for a while. Falcons have bad defense.
Yeah. And then I feel like there's a lot of hoopla going around with this whole Cousins situation too. So with the Falcons,
it'll be a distraction.
Yeah. Is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? Like what's going on?
I mean, he's a starter. It's just a matter of
health.
If he's going to kind of stay upright. He's like in a new situation, but you draft a new guy. Like, do they want to play the new guy? You know what I mean? Penix. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But But those are the division predictions as we wind this down. Interesting. A look ahead, kind of seeing the teams that stands out, and then again, the season starts this Thursday. You get Friday football as well, which is just it's like Christmas, basically. Going forward, again with these platforms, you want to catch us live Sundays and Tuesdays during the football season here, 10 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe to the main podcast channel, the Night Views podcast channel, to catch us there, and Carlos channel as well. I gotta remember to keep putting it because you. What have you been doing recently with your independent sports coverage?
So I've been doing a lot of reactions. So I finally figured out how to prop up the reactions and do that. So I've been touching a lot on the WNBA. I want to really make that channel, that reaction. I call it a Real Sports Talk with Silos, and I want to make that the place you go to react to WNBA games. And I've been keeping track. I mean, as you see in the chat, I'm always talking about this game, that game. So it's like I'm trying my best to react to all of them, but it goes in general when it comes to sports. When I'm watching football or basketball, if it's something I want to react to, I'm reacting. But yeah, I got that going on sports wise, and everything else is streaming and things. So yeah.
All right. So yeah, definitely check out Carlos' channel for sure for his unique coverage of his sports that he's doing, and obviously he's here for the Night Views podcast, the main Seal Nation Sports channel. I have my coverage that again, the Hard Knocks, we covered that. I'm gonna have several series actually going during these seasons. And I'm wondering if I'm gonna launch. I may not launch a separate one that I'm thinking of right now, but we got the Colorado Buffaloes, Deion Sanders, and then Coach Prime against the world. Basically, I'm gonna be chronicling each week my reactions to their games. Also, I'm gonna have uploads kind of looking ahead, so that's gonna be interesting. With Colorado, I will say, since we're kind of ending with football, I am developing a Cowboys specific series for the channel.
We gonna get all the Cowboys fans in here, bro. It's gonna be crazy.
And the title of the series is called "The Same Old Dallas Cowboys." That's the name of the series. And we're just chronicling. We're just chronicling that year. God. I got other series I am kind of planning, but it's definitely going to be interesting topics. I'm developing a Yankees one too. I think who will probably be on that podcast that upload with me. Baseball, so expert. So it's going to be different. They're going to be uploaded videos. So it's just basically Cowboys. The season's about to start, so you're going to start seeing the Cowboys coverage. I may have guessed, I may have not. I don't know. I may take off all the Cowboys fans, but so that's one thing. Baseball, Yankees. That's going to start in October for the playoffs for the Yankees. Okay. So we got other ideas percolating, but we
basketball season's around the corner too. Basketball season, NBA. That's when I'll start ramping up a lot more too. You guys know me. I love me my basketball, so it's gonna be fun, man. It's fun both ways, So
yeah, I definitely got some special basketball coverage as well. It's gonna be some interesting stuff, man. We and really just with all this content that I'm doing, and that probably that Carlos is doing, is we naturally watch all this stuff. So it's just like I literally just kind of put this together as I'm watching it, and giving our thoughts on it and seeing y'all reactions. So having a lot of fun with that, man. So we're gonna slide on out of here for this episode. Again, we'll be back Tuesday. So just remember Sundays and Tuesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern. Come to the main Night Views podcast channel. We'll also be on X Twitter as
that
well.
Link will be in my description as well. So you guys go follow over there.
Sounds good. So appreciate those that caught this live. And like I said, the season just getting started, so we're just getting started. So it's gonna be real,
yes, sir.
real fun. And again, we're covering all sports, all the popular sports, NFL, college, WNBA. What's up, man?
I was not saying I might have to bring my Stephen A. Smith suit for opening week. You know, I don't know. I got to see what's going on next week, bro. You know,
yeah. We'll see. Again, Sundays and Tuesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern. Night Views Podcast. I'm still Abdul, joined by Silos. See y'all next time.